Here in the United States, we are alarmed by the new calls to adopt socialism in our country. Tonight, we renew our resolve that America will never be a socialist country.
What does democratic socialism actually look like? Let's go to Sweden to find out. The city was totally different than the impression I got from the lying politicians in Washington, D.C.
It was a beautiful and clean city, and a very tolerant one at that. As I was walking around the streets of Stockholm, I couldn't help but wonder the false propaganda back in America about the Scandinavian socialist countries. One of my friends had a friend in Stockholm who had a lot of experience with the Swedish health system. She was gracious enough to be interviewed and share her experience.
How many children you have?
3.
Now, you said the 2 of them are the boys that you adopted from where?
From Ethiopia, Addis Ababa, Caleb. He was 4.5 when we adopted him. Before we adopted him, we knew he was deaf. He had a cochlear implantation on one ear and a hearing aid on the other one. The cochlear implant made it possible for him to learn how to speak.
Everything has been taken care of by Swedish government here.
Yes. He's in a school for deaf people, deaf and hard of hearing.
And that's all free education.
Yes.
As far as the treatment, it didn't matter how rich you are or what kind of status you have?
Yeah, that's correct.
Now, you said you were talking to some parents in United States with children who are deaf, and you were talking about their expenses for cochlear implant?
Yes. It's amazing that you have to pay. I think you have to pay for if you want your child to go to a special school, and also for cochlear implant you have to pay. That doesn't really give the child a choice. It should be a choice of a human being if they want the cochlear or not. But if the money makes the choice for them.
Also, one thing I think is good with the healthcare in Sweden is if you have an emergency, you're ill or you have injured yourself and you have to go to the hospital, it doesn't cost. Maybe it costs like $20 or something to see the doctor because it's an emergency. But if you just see a doctor and you make an appointment for a child, you don't have to pay anything.
Oh, is that, yeah. So for the emergency visit, you paid $20?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, that's good.
The system seems to be working, and not many are made homeless or lose their medical coverage if there's an economic downturn. I kept thinking about why many Americans think that the European way of healthcare is not good. Is it because of the misleading propaganda by some of the politicians and political pundits?
When I look at Sweden and I look at Canada and I look at the United Kingdom, where we have single payer and government single payer, we have a tax rate of 60% or higher in those countries.
So as far as taxes, how much do you pay?
About 30%. That's normal for average income in Sweden. If you have a high income, you can pay up to 50 or 60%.
Yeah, but the advantage with that is that you said your health and education for everybody is free.
Yeah, that's right.
You know, I pay 50% in the United States, but I still have to pay for my insurance. Even though I'm a doctor.
As I was strolling the streets of Stockholm, people were having fun and enjoying shopping just like in America. I couldn't escape Justin Bieber, though. night, the streets seemed safe, and I didn't see a single police car during the 3 nights I was there. I was wondering why when I saw this statue. Being a man of peace, it looked like a beautiful piece of art to me. By the way, the Swedish know how to party even in sub-zero temperatures.
Denmark is another country considered to have a system of democratic socialism. Let's hear about it from a Danish citizen himself.
Meet Wolf. He's from Denmark but lives in USA and knows both healthcare systems.
Healthcare is completely public. Of course, we pay for it through our taxes, but we don't have deductibles, or what is the other thing you call it over here? Like deductibles and what else?
I don't
Well, there's no fees.
Co-pays.
Yeah. There's no fees. Everything is just paid by taxes, and it's every single citizen. We do pay them happily because we do see the benefits of these taxes, because we have an incredibly safe society. Senior citizens are taken care of by the state. Everything is just, nobody's really threatened in any way.
And how much are you in debt right now?
I have zero debt, and I own my own apartment, and I'm still in school. Some program under the UN, I believe. They've been checking which populations are the happiest on the planet, and Denmark has been the happiest, I think 7 out of the last 10 times or so. You're basically taken care of from when you're born until the day you die.
What democratic socialism means to me is having, in a civilized society, the understanding that we can make sure that all of our people live in security and in dignity. Healthcare is a human right. All people should have healthcare. You can't get ahead in this country, in this world, unless you have a decent education. We have got to, as a right, end the kinds of discrimination, the racism and the sexism and the homophobia that exist. So to me, when I talk about democratic socialism, what I talk about are human rights and economic rights.
If this is what democratic socialism does for its citizens, maybe the ailing democracy in America badly needs and could use a dose of democratic socialism medicine right now.